serious.
Welcome to the basement. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the basement. I'm Nolo.
Jose, what's going on, guys?
What's up, Papa?
Papa. Do you think about these things like throughout the week?
No, I'm not just making up as we
You
go.
just go, right?
Today I want to introduce our special guest. Special guest, introduce yourself, please.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Okay, all right. We can talk about that if that's what you want to talk about. But today we're going to talk about what's going on in the media, which is the uproar with Kanye West.
I'm too tired. Too tired for this. It's Friday, you know. It's like, really?
And today's a special recording day because we're doing this early in the morning instead of late at night.
Yeah, I'm still waking up, bro. Obviously.
So this whole crazy storm or whatever with Kanye West, I think has woke a lot of people. Woke is like being aware of what's going on. Basically, that's what they call it. They call it being woke. And I feel like you could be woke. Woke is not necessarily being woke in like a sense like you understand this aspect on the right or this aspect on the left. It's just being aware of everything in general. That's the way I see it, right? So when they say, all right, so for instance, they have this lady. Her name is Candace Owens. I think her YouTube account is called Red Pill Black. She's a conservative. She's a black woman. She's young, which all those things together are very rare. And she got woke. She woke up to the fact that the media or the news or politicians or whatever, they almost use minorities as a stepping stool to get where they want to go. And then once they use that stepping stool to get where they want to go, they basically treat them just like a stepping stool. They just leave them where they are and they elevate to wherever they're going, and they really don't help the people, right? So anyway, the point is that Kanye West started watching her videos, and I don't even know where he was watching her videos or what account. I think it might be PragerU. I'm not 100% sure.
Right.
Because the things he was saying sounds like some of the stuff she said on Prager University. And then it must have opened his eyes, right? A lot of people call this taking the red pill. You ever heard of that term? Taking the red pill?
No, go ahead.
So on the Matrix,
Right, okay.
Morpheus offers them either the blue pill or the red pill. The blue pill is you go back to dreamland. The red pill is when you wake up and you go into the real world. So it's called taking the red pill when you wake up, right?
Okay.
And it looks like Kanye West has hit that point to the right side, I think. So not to say Kanye West was never woke. It feels like he was awake to what's the reality of the situation, but he was always paying attention to just one side of it. And I think now he's open. He looked to the right and saw what was going on that side, and now it looks like he's taking everything in, right?
Right.
And I like Kanye West because, like I said, he says what he wants. You know what I just played right now is the first time we were aware that Kanye was woke, right?
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
When he said that, everybody was like, whoa. It wasn't everybody's mind, but nobody had the balls to say it. You know, Kanye West said it. He was awake to it. Kanye West is not the only one, right? There's a rapper called Chance the Rapper. You ever heard of him?
Mm-hmm.
Chance the Rapper? He said black people don't have to be Democrats, right? That's almost unheard of, you know? And he said it. He was like, yo, look, if they're not helping us, we don't got to vote for them, which is real. It doesn't matter if somebody's Republican, Democrat, whatever. If they're voting against what you want, you shouldn't vote for them. You should vote for other people, whatever. Damn it, there's another video too. I just don't know where it's at. And it's a video of, in fact, you know what? Let me try to find it on Instagram. But it's a video of Dave Chappelle. Here we go, right here. Let's see if it even plays. And he talks about when you're awake to the society or what's going on, people look at you like crazy. I'm just going to...
I got the best sleep I ever got in my life. It's how tough he is. So let me ask you this. What is happening in Hollywood that a guy that tough will be on the street waving a gun.
He's talking about,
screaming, they are
Martin.
trying to kill me.
Yeah.
What's going on? Why is Dave Chappelle going to Africa? Why does Mariah Carey make a $100 million deal and take clothes off on TRL? A weak person
He's old,
cannot
obviously.
get to sit here and talk to you. Ain't no weak people talking to you. So what is happening in Hollywood? Nobody knows. The worst thing to call somebody is crazy, is dismissive. I don't understand this person, so they're crazy. That's bullshit. These people are not crazy. They're strong people. Maybe the environment is a little sick.
So what he's saying basically is that right now, and we see it going on live on Twitter, people are calling Kanye West crazy. He lost his mind. He's losing it. He's crazy.
Do you think he's lost his mind?
I put him in the same category as I would put Trump. And I think we were talking about this before.
Yeah, we were.
It's not necessarily that crazy. It's that there's no brakes. You're going at 100 miles an hour. You got no reason to stop. You're at the level right now that you got no reason to stop. Oh, that's not good. So I think that's where Kanye's at.
What was that?
That's my battery. All right. We're gonna
That's
keep
how
going.
prepared we are, guys.
The battery that I'm using to record this.
Is that
And it's plugged in, so let's see what happens. All right.
put it with if you put up a video, but use that one so that way the audience can see it.
Yeah.
It makes it easier.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Less work.
If that's what that's for. Yeah, I'll switch over there to that side then.
So we were talking about this before, and I think that I don't know. It's just it's planned media hype on Kanye West's side. Obviously, there is an end goal, and the end goal, regardless of what his opinion is, the end goal is to promote his albums that are coming out.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, the man is making his money.
Well, he's at the point right now where he just had a meeting with this guy, Charlemagne. And this is actually where they got the video from. So Charlemagne looks like... It's interesting how this all goes down because before all this happened, Kanye West had a meeting with Charlemagne, which is a radio host from a radio station here in New York. Very popular, The Breakfast Club. I'm sure people heard of it before. He had a meeting a few days ago with Charlemagne, right? Nobody knows what it was about. Charlemagne he's a radio host. Didn't really say much about it. He just said talk about life and family, blah blah blah. Then Kanye came out with this, and Charlemagne is not necessarily defending him, but trying to say like he's entitled to his own opinions, and we should just we disagree and we agree with him is fine, but he's still entitled to his own opinions. And calling him crazy is just like he put this video. Right, I'm not gonna play the whole thing because we saw it, but this is on Charlemagne posted this on his Instagram. It is just interesting because also he's coming out with a few albums, Kanye West. He produced a few albums from other people. In fact, one of them that I'm excited about is that Kanye West is producing a Nas album, which I'm like super excited. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, this is gonna be one of the best albums, guaranteed. But and I put a review. No, I won't put a review. I'm not gonna buy the album. I want to, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I don't know. It's just there's a lot of people I'm noticing in the past few years, especially I think since Trump came to office, it's escalated, that are taking the red pill, as I say, right? And one of the big ones that I noticed, that I saw the change was Dave Rubin, because you see it live on one of the shows when he interviews Larry Elder. I don't know if you saw that video. Probably. Well, anyway, he's interviewing Larry Elder, and Dave Rubin comes from the left. In fact, Dave Rubin was on the Young Turks, just to show you how left he was. And if you ever know about the Young Turks, they're super, super liberal.
Yeah, he's definitely made some turns, right?
Dave Rubin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is? I think we spoke about this one time before, where you're kind of spoon-fed information, and you just take it as is. And so one of the
his views wouldn't have come. His views wouldn't have changed if it weren't for this new media.
Right? We're talking about like Instagram, YouTube, and
this
podcasts.
new. But even within that, just the average Joe being able to pick up a microphone and
yeah, of course. mind you, the Young Turks is a YouTube exclusive show. You know what I'm saying? And look where they are. They're multi-million-dollars. I mean, if I remember the debate, what is it? Jake Uger, the guy that runs the Young Turks, he had a debate with Ben Shapiro, and Ben Shapiro called him out. He's like, "Yo, you're getting donations from these people. You're not doing them no favors." Anyway, let's go back to what I was saying before about Dave Rubin. Dave Rubin, what the hell? Dave Rubin had an interview. He interviewed Larry Elder. And mind you, Dave Rubin at that time leaned left. And Dave Rubin came forward and said, what about systematic racism? Now, Larry Elder's an older black man. If you know Larry Elder's story, you should look him up, Larry Elder. Is it Larry Elder? I just want to make sure. Yes, Larry Elder. All right. And then Larry Elder goes, okay, give me your worst case of systematic racism. Meaning like, there's a system that's racist. Give it to me. And Dave Rubin was stuck. What about the police? Is the police a systematically racist entity? No, they're here to fight crime. You know what I'm saying? They're following the trends, you know? And then they gave an example. I think he gave an, in fact, you know, we should just look it up right now instead of talking.
Got the loudest keyboard for you guys.
It's a mechanical Larry Elder, fake news, blah, blah, blah. The movie Larry Elder choose. Oh, look, it's right there. Just real quick, this episode is brought to you by Fiverr.com. We expect our checks. All right.
Not acknowledge that there are some systemic issues.
Give me an example. Tell me what you think the most systemic racist issue is. What is it?
Well, I would say that because black people, in most cases, in many cases, were descendants of slaves, that racism as an institution, that it just a certain amount of it just exists.
2015. Give me the most blatant racist example you can come up with right now.
I think you could probably find evidence that, in general, cops are more willing to shoot if the perpetrator is black.
What's your data
than white?
What's your basis for saying that? Last year...
Well, look, I know a lot of people would say, look what's going on in Chicago.
I know what they would say.
Yeah.
I'm talking about what the facts are. 965 people were shot by cops last year and killed. 4% of them were white cops shooting unarmed blacks. In Chicago in 2011, 21 people were shot and killed by cops. In 2015, there were 7. In Chicago, which is a third black, a third white, and a third Hispanic, 70% of the homicides are black on black. About 40 per month, almost 500 per year last year in Chicago, and 75% of them are unsolved. Yeah. Where is the Black Lives Matter on that?
So,
I'm not gonna play the video obviously, but I'm gonna put the link in the bio or whatever. For those of you guys watching the YouTube videos, on the comment section, I'm gonna put a link to the blog that I post for each video. And on the blog, it'll bring you to a website. You'll see other videos and other links and stuff like that. I think you guys should click down there. The video is there too. So you click on the link, you go to the video on the website. You can download the podcast and yeah, check it out.
So at the end of the day, it comes down to the fact that this is the generation that's really free to look up and research and find ultimately the truth. I think that any one person with a cell phone can easily investigate their own and come up with their own conclusion. With that being said, you only look for the things that are juicy, that are going to give you the hits, the likes, the shares, the retweets, right? So it's the same thing. I told you that my opinion on this whole Kanye West thing is that it's just a perfect opportunity to promote his album, make money. And you do that by saying outlandish, even if you have to go against your former, beliefs politically, spiritually, it doesn't matter. It's what ultimately gets you on the screen. Yeah. Which is what Trump did. So for him to, relate to Trump, he's just mimicking exactly what Trump did. Getting that free media, baby.
Speaking of Trump, you remember when
that free media,
when he got elected, when he won the presidency, I almost got the impression that he was like, I'm not ready for this. What did I just do? I can't believe I just won. I wasn't supposed to be here. This is a joke. This started off as a joke, and I'm just running with it, and now I'm here. I think And it's funny because in the beginning of his presidency,
You think he doubted he was gonna win?
oh yeah. I think everybody doubted that he was going to win.
Yeah,
You know, everybody expected President
you did, right?
Clinton. Me? Yeah, I expected Clinton to win. But this is the thing. Okay, so with that same line of thought, that's the media spoon feeding us. Believe this, and I had everybody believing Hillary was going to win. But the truth of the matter is, more people wanted Trump for whatever reason. But that's not what we were spoon fed.
Right.
You know, the problem, I think, even me as a victim to this, is that I was spoon fed the information. I was like, yeah, she's probably going to win. Instead of me going, looking at, talking to people. Even though we're in a liberal state, we're in New York.
It doesn't really matter.
There's only one opinion here. If you go against the grain, you might as well freaking just hide in a hole.
Yeah, don't talk about it too much either.
Yeah. And it's funny.
It's still like that today? Are you hesitant to talk about Trump and suggest
Oh,
that
no,
you
hell
were...
no. I love talking about this stuff. Yo, check this out. This is how crazy it is, though. This is how left New York is. We were talking about guns. And I said, I think people should have the freedom to carry guns wherever they want. Right? I think New York City, we should be able to own guns. That's all I said. And then you know what the person next to me said? Don't tell me you're a Trump supporter. I was like, how does that even... How is it the same thing?
Yeah.
It's totally different things. But because I had one opinion that didn't agree with them 100%, I'm immediately a Trump supporter.
Still, you wouldn't walk down the street of, like the projects, right? Corana's projects, you wouldn't walk down the street and be like, Trump!
Well, if I was a diehard Trump supporter, I wouldn't give a crap.
Yeah.
I wear a shirt that says Trump. If I'm Puerto Rican, I wear a Puerto Rican shirt. If I'm a
Is
Christian,
that the same thing as going, South Staten Island and yelling, Obama?
Oh, because South Staten Island is more Trump territory?
Trumpy? They're more Trumpy?
I mean, if you're a diehard Obama supporter, then, good for you. If that's what you want to support, that's what you want to support. But I don't agree with either one of them. I think that we just got to vote for whoever's best for our own agenda. At the end of the day, like I told you before, we're selfish people. I want what's best for me and my family. That's it. I don't care about this other stuff that you're talking about. And people saw, at least in the lower, the middle of America, they saw, hey, look, this guy's for us. Remember the debate when Hillary was like,
the coal mine.
oh God, I gotta put that.
Yeah, the coal mines. That's so funny.
This is the best. And then you see her face.
She's like, dun, 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 dun.
She's frozen, bro.
Crazy Hillary.
Hey, I don't want you stupid. I want to hear.
As the key into coal country, because we're going to put a lot of coal miners and coal companies out of business.
After the remarks Sunday,
Damn it. I wouldn't see her face because she stays frozen for a second. She's like, what did I just say? It gotta be here. I don't know. Oh God, I don't want to go with all this. Right there, that's one.
Key into coal country, because we're going to put a lot of coal miners and coal companies out of business. Right, Tim?
Wait,
Let's go back.
No, give me this.
back,
Stop
please.
touching. What'd you do? What did that?
I try to bring it back a little bit.
Oh
my God.
That right there. Who's Tim? Okay. Anyway, look. I think at that
Timothy
point,
from South Park?
I think what happened is that it registered what she just said, and she was like, "I made a mistake." And you could tell her like quivering voice when she's.
I mean, look at her face right there. It's like, I'm done.
Right. Tim.
And we're going to make it clear that we don't want to forget those people.
She switched it up now.
I wonder if anybody in the audience, like someone is just like.
And I feel like this right here, this one moment was, it was a moment where people that live in the area was like, I can't vote for her. I can't trust her. There's no way I could trust her. Because
I mean, look at that pocket. Is that a pocket?
What is that?
You could put like a Apple Pro right in there.
iPad Pro.
Yeah.
So, I think that was a moment right there. I think that this is one of the moments that pushed voters to Trump.
I mean, there were a few. The whole email thing. I mean, and some of that still resonates as they're trying to relate Trump with the Russian meddling when it was obviously Hillary, right?
It's funny because you see this now. I don't know the ins and outs of the investigation, but as far as I see, they're saying, okay, Hillary paid for this, Hillary did this, or the Clinton Foundation, whatever. But somehow they're trying to connect it to Trump, and they're like, we can't find connections to Trump. We're finding so many with the Hillary thing, but that's not who we're investigating. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's going to be an interesting ride when you see at the end of this what happens, because maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think Trump.
Well, then the question is, what if the Russians, if the leader Putin, whatever, if they were actually behind this this meddling, then you have to ask yourself, what has his country benefited
Exactly.
by Trump winning
And then,
so far?
And then what
That
do you look
and then what would he have benefited if Hillary were in office, or has he before?
Well, maybe it was this, the fact that he knew that Hillary was bad for sure. He wasn't sure about Trump. So he already knew this was bad. He wasn't sure about this, so he'd rather go that way. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, I know Hillary's not going to be good for my country. At least Trump, I don't know. We'll see. But at least I know this is definitely bad. And then, what do they constitute as meddling? What does meddling mean? They didn't change any votes, right? It's not like they hacked into the system and changed votes. What they did was give people information. They did the same thing that we were just talking about before with the media. They were just spoon feeding people.
Did there's much to talk about Trump, but like the whole Russian with prostitution,
Yeah.
right? I mean, by this point, if you hadn't
You talking about the PP in the bed?
the PP and all that, I mean, there's so many stories at this point. If you're shocked or taken back by some new allegation with Trump, really?
All right, let me ask you a question though.
The same guy that was saying the things that he said in his campaign, where they called him on the bus,
Yeah. Okay,
grab him by the,
So now that right there,
you're
the
shocked
grab,
now?
the grab by the coochie. Would that in your head? Would that be like, I can vote for this guy?
Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's this late that it's actually been recorded and put out there.
I mean, to me, it's like, oh, he messed up. It's not.
Let's think about the male I'm just, of course, other presidents have said this, thought this. You know what I mean? It's just like it just happened to be recorded. Someone put it out there at this point. But I mean, can you imagine having the highest seat in the world, and you're a male? We have these tendencies as males. We all know, right? That they're not gonna be, they're not gonna, recognize that they're in power. All right, you said it yourself that Trump said, sometimes they want them. They want them to because you're famous. You wouldn't throw yourself right now at Halle Berry.
Throw myself at
Yeah,
her?
I mean,
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, so I mean,
And she's like 50.
she's like 50.
She is like 50. All right, look, let me just...
Joe, is your father the wax? He just made up on his maybe 3 of the light brown, kind of or black. I'd have 1 blue and 1 black. I need an inch, too tight in the waist.
Hold on, let's see
Do
this.
you recall the exact size? I just wanted to... Yes, Adam, I think so, but wouldn't you have the measurements there? I want them ½ inch larger in the waist than they were before. 3 inches of stuff left back in there so I can get the month. So leave me these a ½ inch bigger in the waist. Make the pockets at least an inch longer. My money and my knot.
Let's just show you.
Hello. Now the pockets when you sit down.
Oh, God.
Now another thing, the crotch down where your nuts hang is always a little too tight. So when you make them up, give me an inch that I can let out there because they cut me. They're just like riding a wire fence. These are the best that I've had anywhere in the United States. But when I gain a little weight, they cut me under there. So leave me, you never do have much margin there. But see if you can't leave me about an inch from where the zipper ends, round under back to my bunghole.
So, okay. The reason why I play that is because it's not that it's offensive. It's the fact that I just want to show people that they're regular people. There's nothing they're not gods that come down from heaven that was like, okay, we're gonna help you guys run this world. God sent me here.
Are you saying that to both sides of the aisle?
Oh yeah. They're both regular people. Obama's gonna make mistakes. Trump is gonna make mistakes. The thing about the thing that separates Trump from the rest of the pack is the fact that his goal wasn't to be a politician. So when your goal is to be a politician, you immediately like, okay, I know I'm gonna be a politician. Let me make sure I'm straight and I don't got no problems, because I know when I get to a specific time in office or whatever office that is, they're gonna look back and investigate me, right? If I got some crazy stuff in my history, they're gonna find it. So I need to make sure I'm always straight and I don't say nothing crazy on camera. Blah blah blah. Trump was never. At least I don't think he was ever thinking about running for office.
No, he definitely was.
No, I'm saying I didn't think he thought it was a reality until recently.
He definitely was, and he was plotting it for a while. I mean, he befriended the Clintons. He's been asked from numerous times on different shows whether or not he was gonna to run, and he's always
but I think for him
he always left you with this like but
I think it was. When I say that, I don't think he was planning to run for us. I don't think that was like his life goal to run for president. I think he was just like, if somebody said, "Oh, you run for president," like, I don't know.
As a narcissistic,
Maybe.
I think that every narcissistic wants to be some kind of Stalin or some kind of someone in power.
You said Stalin?
Stalin.
Stalin.
No, I think that everyone who's narcissistic, in some ways, whatever platform, they want to reach the top of that. Kanye West.
So wait, so like I was saying, him in the bus, to him it was just like, whatever, I'm just shooting the breeze with the guys. You know what I'm saying? What else he said? He said something else that was crazy. He did a lot. Okay. So now, again, if you heard a president say that in his past, he said that, I wouldn't even think, I'd be like, whatever, people talk like that. I wouldn't think it's a big deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
if he did it in the president's office, as the president, then I'm like, ooh, you're the president, you gotta calm down. But if it was before in the past, I'm like, that's how people talk. Niggas are crazy. And the same thing with the P and the prostitute. Okay? The question is, are we allowed to have sexual freedom?
Right.
Okay? Can I be gay if I want to be gay? And if I don't want to be gay and I want to sleep with 5 or 6 different girls or guys at the same time, is America okay with that? Is that okay? What if I like to get peed on? Is that okay with America? Because I thought that's where we were heading.
Freedom of being able to pee on each other?
Yeah, I thought that's where we were heading. I thought they wanted freedom to do whatever you want.
I thought, why are we heading there? Doesn't that come with the bill?
What bill?
Yeah, freedom of...
That's what I'm saying. So
expression,
especially in the past few years,
self-expression.
they're like, oh, if somebody wants to be gay, let them be gay. Oh, let them get married.
Yeah.
Okay,
Why are we like acting like we're heading there? Shouldn't that come with... Like, I thought it was whatever. It came with it. Believe whatever you want to believe in. Say whatever you want to say. Just, don't kill anybody while you're trying to do it.
So, anyway, the point is that, especially the left, is saying we should have that freedom. We should allow people to whatever they want to do. If you want to be known as Zer instead of him or her, or if you want to be freaking asexual or pansexual, whatever you want to be, that'd be it.
Yeah.
But if somebody says, I like when girls pee on me, now it's a bad thing? Because if it's true or not, to me, doesn't matter. If you got winter rushes that get peed on, I don't give a crap. I don't think
but
it doesn't bother me.
But I guess what they're saying is you represent us, and this.
But at the time he didn't. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but anyone that's set in any type of power position, it's the people saying you represent the best of us, and it's labeling what that actually looks like, what the best of us actually look like. Someone who doesn't have a criminal record.
Okay, but even when you say that, let's say that, what kind of mentality would you call that? A liberal mentality that thinks that?
I think they both expect, in some sense, that whoever they're electing best represents their moral values and their goals to achieve and sustain that moral value.
But to me, that's a problem, because then you're saying that a straight white male is the height of morality.
A good portion of mankind's history was.
But what I'm saying is that, I hate doing this, but the people on the left wouldn't say that. They'd be like, no, you don't have to be a straight white male to be the best.
No.
You could be a black, gay, transsexual, whatever.
It was at one point, but now it isn't, and that's their argument, I think.
What do you mean?
That it's broadened since
Yeah,
forever.
It's broadened, but with this P thing, or even with the prostitute having sex with a prostitute.
You don't think that a conservative and a liberal would both agree that this P thing was morally incorrect?
But I think they agree to that.
Yeah.
I think that the conservatives would say that's immoral. If it was a random person, not Trump, just a regular guy, Bob from whatever down the block, conservatives be like, he shouldn't do that. That's bad. Our liberal be like, no, he's into that. Let him be whatever he wants to be into. But because it's Trump, the conservatives are saying, who cares? But the liberals are like, no, that's bad. He shouldn't get peed on.
So they
switched because of who it is. Instead of everybody saying, who cares? Let him be who he wants to be. Right? If you want to...
So are you saying that the conservatives don't have a more higher moral ground in terms of this situation than liberals?
No, I don't think so.
Because you just said, the conservatives are like, they've switched, so they're like, yeah, whatever, let him do whatever he wants. He's Donald Trump. He's the president.
But they're only doing that because of who he is. They're not doing... If it was another conservative, or just a random conservative guy, a guy that lives in Texas...
They'd be
like, oh, you shouldn't do that. That's horrible.
Calling them out.
But because it's Trump, they're like, oh, let him be, who cares?
And is that because Trump represents their party?
That's right.
Right.
That's what I think it is. But because Trump represents that party, the liberals are like, that's bad. You shouldn't let Russian prostitutes pee on you.
And that doesn't happen on the other side with...
That's what I'm saying. They switch back and forth depending on who it is. And I think they should just be like, if you want to get pee on, that's your prerogative. Just don't pee on me. I don't like that stuff. If you want to pee on me, then we're going to have a problem. But if you want somebody to pee on you, then that's on you. Right? Now, the question goes, should we allow him to have that in the White House? What if he comes out and is like, yo, I like people pee on me. My wife, Melania, come on, baby. She pees on me every night. This is just a thing we have. Melania's like, I piss on him. I love pissing on him. That's my man. Would we be okay with that happening in the White House? Or would America be like, you can be whoever you want, but that's the White House guy. Just please.
I'm more like, I don't even want to know about it. How about that?
I don't know about it either, but it's part of the investigation that came out. Like I said, I don't care. If that's what you want to do. I mean, me and you have a history of that. We worked at a place that actually had parties.
That entertain these...
entertain these fantasies.
There you go, fantasies.
And that was just like, that was just one of the aspects that happened in that place. And I think there is where I learned how to accept. Because before that, I was like, oh, they pee on each other? Oh my God.
You did like that?
That's like just...
I
don't even like to pee on the side of the toilet bags. And I'm like, oh God.
Oh, who's going to clean that up?
Exactly. So, but ever since working there, I'm like, if they want to be gay, if they want to have freaking transsexual parties, whatever, I don't care. Like, that's on you.
Yeah.
Just don't push me into it. You could offer me. That'd be nice. You ever had somebody walk in, they had a piece of cake, and they're like, oh man, I love carrot cake. And you're like, I hate carrot cake. I don't like carrot cake. But the person's like, yo, you want a piece of this? And you're like, man, I'm good. Thanks, bro. I'm good. Then you'd be like, all right, that's fine. At least he offered you. That was a nice thing to do.
Right.
You denied him. Okay. But if you said, I don't like carrot cake, he goes, no, you got to eat this. You got to eat this
Gotta
cake.
Try this.
You got to. You're like, oh, come
but
on,
I'm
man,
allergic.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
worth it. It's worth you almost dying. Try this.
So that's the way I see it. Like, yo, if you want to be you, man. Just don't force. You can ask me. That'd be nice. And I feel the same way about, oh, God, I'm going to go into the hole. I feel the same thing about faith and Christianity.
Hold on. I just want to apologize. It seems like there's construction going on upstairs.
There is construction. I told them, I think it sounds like somebody chopping up a body. They go into the meaty parts. It takes a lot to get through it.
Ooh, it must be somebody big.
Because it goes down upstairs. So anyway, I feel the same way about like Christianity. We can offer somebody, this is Christianity. I think we had the conversation with Wilson in the car. It's okay to say, hey, look, this is Christianity. This is what it is. We explain it to you, blah, blah, blah. But me forcing it down your throat is not the way to do it, right? And I think one of the agreements that we had is that the telling people, if you don't do this, you're going to go to hell.
Fear tactic?
Fear tactic, I think that's the wrong tactic. Because then at that point, they're going to be like, I guess I got to join. They're not in it for the faith. They're in it for the fear.
And the fear of themselves, right?
Yeah.
Right. Christianity is saying what? The human race is doomed.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't have to buy into it if you don't want to. That's fine with me. I don't care. I'm into this. This is what I think is true. This is the reasons why. If you don't want to believe, that's fine with me. But in my view, you're damned. Right? But in your view, you may think I'm damned. You may be a Muslim. You may be like, actually, you're wrong. And that's okay. We have a difference of opinion. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay? And this is why when people come down on Christians saying, you think gay people are going to go to hell? It's like, yeah, I'm a Christian. That's the way we believe. You know? Because I read this on Reddit the other day where they're saying that why do Christians do this? And I'm like, it's because that's what the Bible teaches. And it's not necessarily that you're gay and you're going to hell. It's that you're a sinner and you're going to hell. And gay, in a Christian perspective, is a sin. You know, homosexuality is a sin. So yeah, of course they're going to believe that. You know, why are you hating on them for? That's their belief.
Right.
Do you believe they're wrong? If you believe they're wrong, why shouldn't they be mad at you for believing that? Well, they have equal footing to say that you're wrong. The same way you can say they're wrong. So just live and let live. You know what I'm saying? If you want to join their party, join their party. And this is the thing with Kanye. If this is what he wants to believe, let him believe it. You know? I'd like him believing this. Because it shows he's a true person regardless of what politics tell him, regardless of who tells him what. I'm true to who I am. And I see that this is wrong, and I'm true to it. And I think that's great. And I think that's why people like Trump. It's like, you guys are being destroyed by this, this, and this. Politicians are like, don't mess up our deals. We've got deals with this country. We got deals with this. Don't mess that up. Trump is like, yo, these deals are bad. And people heard him, and they're like, yo, we're going to vote for him, man. That's word.
All right. That's pretty much, I think that's where we're at, though. Because I lost my camera feed.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then that's it.
We're gonna leave it at that. Let us know what you guys think. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm starting to ask the question, like, it almost feels like the day where network neutrality is imminent.
You talking about the computer?
Yeah, the control of what we're releasing and receiving has to be controlled.
It's gonna happen, whether we like it or not.
It has to be controlled. This is getting out of hand.
What do you mean?
I think from I don't know. I just get the sense that the government has to start controlling it because they're getting held responsible for not looking into every post and every tweet and every.
The government.
And you know how hard that must be.
Yeah,
I'm not excusing the government for the lack of the reporting when it came to the whole Florida thing, but I'm just saying, can you imagine how much people are out there just you refresh and there's like 30 new posts on every social.
So you're saying the government should restrict that?
I'm saying it's inevitable before the people decide to let that go and put it in control of the government.
I think that's the worst thing you can do.
I think so too, but I also feel like it's inevitable. It's just gonna happen.
That'd be horrible.
I keep thinking every time I see these, new
That'd
stories.
Be horrible for our freedom, because they'll restrict us for sure.
That's the first signs of, to me, a modern day tyranny.
Yeah, that's the 1984, nightmare. Yeah, if we let government be in charge of social media, it's over. If they let them be in charge of YouTube, in charge of what we listen to every day, we're literally turning the spoon fed that we're choosing into a spoon fed that we're forced. Now we can choose what I like. I want to hear this. I also want to hear a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But if the government's involved, it's going to be North Korea. They're only going to give us the propaganda that government wants us to hear.
Right. So, I mean, then you're basically, what are you left with? So, I'm sorry. So, basically, we're talking about them taking away guns and taking away, where are we as a people when they take away our right to what we see online?
I think that's going to be a revolution. That's the next revolution. Listen, if they try to take our guns, people are saying I'm willing to fight for it. If they're trying to take our First Amendment freedom of speech, I think that's another area that we need to fight. In fact, the Second Amendment was to protect the First Amendment. So those people that are saying I'm for guns should also say you're trying to take away CNN's ability to spread news. I have to protect them too. I don't agree with them, but they should have the freedom to say what they want to say.
Right.
And that's being like Kanye West. You be who you are, regardless of what the sides say. I don't care if all you talk about is anti-conservative, pro-left stuff. I'm Second Amendment and I'm a conservative. I'm gonna back you up to say that. You know what I'm saying?
So, when do you think that it'll actually happen? Where they're basically hold on a second. When do you think that'll happen? Where they basically take away, your rights on, the social platform? Like, when do you think that happen? The next 5-10 years?
Look,
What's your
the way things are going right now, with this whole Trump era, quote unquote, they already started with the fake news, right?
Right.
They're trying to restrict people from putting out information that they want to put out. If the next president becomes a Democrat or left or whatever, the left might say, we only want our agenda out there. So we have to stop them from saying stuff. Okay. See, the thing about it's difficult because you also say the same thing about the right. But I think the right is more about not restricting what you say, but let us say what we want to say. You see what I'm saying? So the left is more like, shut up, you can't say that. The right is more like, well, you said what you got to say. Now let me say what I got to say.
Mm-hmm.
Because we see that a lot of college campuses nowadays. You get a conservative speaker in a college. The left wants to shut it down. Shut up. Kick them out the campus. We cannot talk. Get your hate speech out of our campus. Get your hate speech out of our campus. Right? The conservatives, on the other hand, are like, let me hear your opinion. And you see this especially, like, let's say with Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro, when he does his Q&A sessions after he's done, he says, if you disagree with me, get in the front line. I want to hear what you got to say. Right? Same thing with Dave Rubin says the same thing. Anybody that crosses that line, Jordan Peterson, Brett Weinstein, anybody that crosses the line and says, I said something that the left doesn't agree with. I'm a leftist, but I say something the left doesn't agree with. Always says the same thing. But for some reason, the people on the right accept me with open arms and they say, let's have a discussion. But the people on the right don't want to hear it. They want to shut it down. And this is the fear of the future. That whatever's president is going to be next, quote, I don't know what's going to happen. But if they get enough people to vote and say we got to shut them down from saying, that might be a leading steps towards what you're saying. Restricting freedom of speech.
Right.
Because you see this all the time with you can't, New York City, if you're a landlord and you own a company and somebody says, don't call me him or her, call me Zer. You can't be like, I'm not going to call you that. You're a man. I'm calling you a man. Because then you get sued. Your freedom of speech is restricted at that point. Okay? So, when people say, oh, freedom of speech is already restricted because you can't yell fire in an open theater, right? It's not that you can't yell fire. You can yell fire. That's not what's against the law. What happens after that is what's against the law. You're calling for action. People are taking the action. Now you're going to be held accountable for the action.
Right.
Okay? It's not that what you said was wrong. It's the action that preceded that. And it started because of your what you said. Right? You started a riot. You said fire in open theater. People ran and trampled. Somebody got trampled to death. You're going to jail because you started it. You can say it all you want. You can yell out fire all you want. It's not illegal. It's the action that's illegal. What happens after. Right? So your freedom of speech is not restricted. It's you have consequences to your freedom of speech. If that's what you want to do, if you go to the White House and yell out, "I want to kill the president," you're going to jail because you're assaulting. No, I think it's assault. You're yelling an assault to the president, right? Because assault is the verbal, battery is the physical, right? Is that how it works? So you're assaulting the president. You're saying, "I'm going to hurt you." So of course, especially if you smack a guy in the face, you might not go to jail. If you smack a cop in the face, you're probably going to go to jail for a little while. If you smack the president, you're probably going to go to jail for a little while. So there's a level of the way we have our judicial system, right? And I use the same argument for if you smack God, what do you think is going to happen? Right? I use this when I talk to people about Christianity or whatever.
Right.
But there's a level to this, you know. I forgot what I was saying. So, are you set up?
No, it's a mess over here. I ran out of disk space.
Oh Lord.
So and try resetting that one again. The magic of editing. There you go.
We should probably just end that anyway. We've been going on for a while.
Yeah, we have. So it's not gonna move because it's connected, which is fine.
What just ended?
Yeah, we'll keep going for a little bit.
You better just end it right now.
No, hold on. Let me start recording.
Mommy diaries. It's just ended, bro. What do you do?
Yours is still recording, right?
Yeah.
Hang on.
And my battery's down. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Magic of editing. So yeah, I mean, the reality of it is we're all individuals. We all make our own decisions, and I just want to hear other people's opinions. Like, what do you guys think about this?
We were talking about, so we had our second guest, right? So yeah, we would love to. We would think of scratching our heads about getting a female, and would just
like a difference of opinion.
Yeah, and it's hard because people are passionate about their views.
Yeah.
And I think for most people it's hard not to get emotional when they're confronted with their views or challenged. And it's I get it, but I feel like that's the first step of growth.
Yeah.
If you could step away from your own opinion, your own bias, whatever they may be, and put aside the emotion, your passion behind it, then it's like there's no way we're gonna. And I feel like the more social platforms there are, the more challenging it's gonna be for the individual to express themselves without emotion, because you see this in all the social. Everyone's. I mean, I don't remember the last time I posted something on my Facebook. I don't, but I constantly see people blah and this happened to me in the world, and they're just throwing out these phrases of emotions. And I think to myself, these are lonely people. Dr. Oz was questioned the other day, some kind of show or award show that was going on, and the person who was asking, the interviewer was saying, what's the best thing for people out there right now, and he was like companionship. That there's a sense of no loneliness that's occurring. Yeah. That's the biggest health factor. For him to say that was, to me, amazing, because I keep thinking about, people, all they have are these social medias, their phone. Everyone's on their phone. Everyone is on social media, and they're some of them are crying out for attention. And it's the only platform that they have. So it's like, how emotional can you get to a tablet, your phone?
Yeah, I think people need to get out there and have conversations, have real conversations, and be open to change your mind.
Yeah, but that's so hard. They're so used to. It's easier for me to say how I feel and not have anyone rebuttal or come against that thought on social media.
Yeah, but that's a closed-minded person.
But think about how many people are like that.
I know, and maybe it's social media that made them that way.
That's what I'm saying, and it's getting worse, and it's getting worse to the point where I think it's going to be a health issue which gives this whole rise to neutrality and the government eventually taking control.
You think it's the health thing that's going to send it that way?
I think it's the health avenue, that this has become a health issue. It's an epidemic. People are committing suicide. And we need to be able to control.
Do you think this Facebook thing with Mark Zuckerberg going to Congress, you think that's a step in that direction? That the government's saying you have more control over the people than we do.
Elections.
Yeah.
You're in essence disturbing the system that we had in play. Therefore, this needs to be controlled for the better of the people, and then the avenue is going to be their health.
Yeah. You know what? I think if the government was to take over Facebook, I mean, I don't think it's ever going to happen. But if they do, I think people just leave Facebook. They'll just start a new platform.
It doesn't. I think it's like the whole. Remember what happened with the whole Privacy Act after 9/11?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Except now it's going to be the internet that they're controlling. They already have the right to look into our personal lives in the name of protecting the people, right? We already gave them that ability. Yes, if it comes to this situation, terrorism, attacks, that we consent to some extent that we're being monitored.
I don't know.
So now it's just going to be the internet too. It's going to be an excuse that we need to control this for the people. I don't think Facebook is going anywhere.
No, I don't think any of them are going to go anywhere. I think if the government overreaches, I think people fight back. I don't know. All right. I don't know. Let's hear your thoughts, guys. Comment, like, love, show affection. Basement. Peace.
Later.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Oh